Good morning, everybody. Welcome. We have a very special event set up for you today. My name is Joe Beck with Marketing Mate, and in the studio with me today is James Shockley. James is the founder of Marketing Mate, and today James is going to do something a little bit different and a little bit special. Today, he's going to spend some time doing a deep dive on the difference between automation and AI. So I know everybody out there has been hearing a lot of talk about AI and the importance of AI in your business. We know how important automation is. So today, James is going to do a deep dive on it. James, take it away. We are anxious and looking forward to hearing all about automation versus AI.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, no, I figured, let's mix it up this week. So in today, what I want to show you guys is how you can build AI into your own business with automation. So what I want to show you guys here, we'll go through a presentation. I want to show you the differences between the two, and then we'll go in and build our own. Okay. So all right. So we have automation versus AI. Okay. So a lot of the times I get asked, oh, well, isn't this just AI? And a lot of times it's actually automation, right? So it's important to understand the difference, because when you're integrating into your business, that's when you know when automation comes into play and when AI comes into play. So let's start with automation. The first thing to understand with automation is that it's basic technology. Okay, this is technology that's been around. It's easy to access. It's as simple as creating a Zapier, if you're familiar, where you can link two apps together. It's relatively easy, takes a few seconds. It replaces repetitive tasks, right? So typically you're used to trying to coordinate with someone to book a call, right? But now you just send them a calendar link, and that automates the calendar booking process, right? So that's automation, right? Then it's more of a structured task. So you actually need to really, map it out for the automation, right? If this happens, then this happens. Then this happens, but if this happens, something else happens, right? So you need to give it an exact playbook and direction of where this needs to go. And lastly, it improves your efficiency, right? Because if you think about it, if I spend, maybe 5-10 minutes coordinating, booking a calendar appointment, and I do that maybe 10 to 15 times a week, but maybe each time I do that, it takes 10 minutes, right? I'm now wasting 100 hours every single week, which is almost 100 minutes every single week, which is almost 2 hours every week, just booking calendar appointments. So by just automating it, you're saving that time. Now, the few things that you can automate here, or there's lots of things that you can automate. The first thing would be your lead intake, right? So it's important when creating your automations to understand where's the lead coming from, right? Because if you can get back to that lead within the first few minutes of the lead coming in, the chances of converting that lead skyrocket, because they feel that you are giving them the attention that they want. And then obviously your calendar booking, like I had said, right? So this can just free up so much of your time, because you just say, here's my calendar, book it, rather than going back and forth on email. Another thing that I love to automate is vetting my prospects, right? So if you're a company that is generating a decent amount of leads and you're starting to realize, I'm wasting my time with at least half of them, they're not qualified. Well, there's a few things that you can do where you create like forms that vet the prospects. You can ask them different questions through text, different things like that before they even get to your calendar booking. Organizing contacts, it's incredibly important to always understand where your leads are coming from, right? Because when you're marketing, you want to understand what is working the best for you. Like, for example, TikTok, I know works great for me because I can see exactly how many people come from TikTok, how many people come from networking events I go to, and all the other ways in which I market myself. Your CRM, it's your favorite thing that you also hate, right? It's a CRM has such a negative look on it sometimes because people get frustrated with them. They don't like to use CRMs. But if you automate your CRM, it almost can act as kind of like a machine where you don't even have to touch it. You just let it do its thing follow up for people automatically, and then you just kind of let it pop, like a card can pop up on your own manual CRM if someone replies to one of your automated messages. Reminders, this is probably one of my favorite things that I like to automate for myself is, before every one of my calls, people get text and email alerts about the calls. So the chances of missing an appointment go down. But then also for me, like, a lot of the times you just get in the zone of things, right? And all of a sudden you look up and you're like, oh shit, I got a meeting and that started a minute ago. Well, now like a minute before all of my meetings, I get texted all the person's information, my Zoom link, a way to take notes, everything, and I'm right there on the call. Then you have your follow-ups. So, people want to be customizing their follow-ups and everything. I understand that, but you can really look at your follow-up and notice that probably 80% of what you're saying in that follow-up is going to be pretty standard stuff based off of that conversation that you just had with that prospect. But so there's ways to add customization into automated follow-ups where you can actually automate your follow-ups so you don't have to keep reminding yourself to follow up with that person, or maybe you just don't feel the need to do a second touch point, but maybe it's the fourth touch point that gets someone to reply to you, right? You just never know. Then everyone loves to get paid, right? So it's a pain to hound someone to pay your invoice, right? So now with automating invoices, you can invoice someone and then set up automated reminders and emails to them if they don't pay you, right? And then it turns off if they do end up paying you, right? So you can always manipulate the automations once an action occurs. So now if you look at kind of from the lead intake to our invoicing, you can see this is literally your entire sales process all right here that's now just been automated. And from there, you can automate, onboarding, you can automate, customer nurturing, kind of the list goes on, but the amount of things you can automate just in the beginning funnel stages of the sales process is everything. So now when you're creating your automations, there's a few things to keep in mind if you were to create any automations on your own, right? And the first is, where is that lead come from, right? Is it coming from Facebook? Is it coming from Instagram? Is it coming from your website? Are you posting organic content, PR? Where is it coming from, right? So it's as simple as on your website, put a lead form there. On your Facebook ad, put a lead form there, right? You want to just have those intakes into your automations. Then how do you want to tag these people, right? Think about when you're asking questions on an intake form, right? Maybe there's like 2 questions that you want to know where you can gain a better understanding of maybe are they ready to take action quicker rather than later, or do they have a budget for this or budget for that, right? Then what is your first impression going to be? Okay, so I book an appointment with you, right? Do they get a text message right away? Do they get an email? Do they get a video sent to them, right? That you maybe filmed on Loom and you include it in that email, right? How can you make it personalized to them so that way they feel, that you care, but also where you're automating most of it. Then what are the next steps, right? So think about this, right? You get on your first impression, you get on your call, right? That's a manual action. Well, then you need to trigger your next step, right? Is that going to be sending them a deck, right? Where maybe you click a button and it just sends them your sales deck, or it sends them your pricing deck. So then you can also go into your follow-ups, right? You can automate your then follow-ups where you follow up with them maybe in 2 days, and then 3 days later it follows up with them again if they don't answer. And then finally, you have your closing, right? So you want to think, how can I automate my contracting and my price and my payment? Now, some of my favorite automation tools too that I personally like and I use every single day. The first one is Zapier. So Zapier is probably the easiest one to start using today. This is kind of going to be what I'm going to go over later in the presentation, where we have a form, we run it through the AI, and it creates a document, right? This takes literally probably 2 minutes to make. Super easy. Really beginner, intermediate, advanced person could do this type of automation. So if you're going to start creating automations for your business, I would highly recommend using Zapier first. Then next is make.com. Make.com is a little bit more advanced, right? You can do a lot more customization with it. It's almost like building your own little program, but using other existing apps, and you can do almost endless things within make.com. And then finally is my personal favorite, Go High Level. That's what I personally use within Marketing Mate to build all my automations for people. It's just there's so many things built within that allow you to automate your full spectrum sales process, right? So these are my favorite automation tools. And this is really kind of the way to think about automations, the things you can automate, and how you can go about automating them, right? So now that we have automation, right, let's talk about AI, right? AI is everyone's favorite topic right now. So let's kind of go into the difference of AI and automation, right? So one, AI is obviously very advanced technology, right? OpenAI has been in development for, I believe, almost 8 years now, actually, behind the scenes. So just to develop OpenAI, they've needed tremendous amounts of information from all around the internet to feed this data learning model. And it's going to keep advancing, right? It's not going to stop. And they just released the 3.5 turbo of the ChatGPT API now. So you're going to start to see a lot more technologies with this OpenAI. Now, I think it's going to transform entire industries, right? Automation, it's great. It's helping industries, but AI, I think, is going to transform industries because now you can just have conversations with apps rather than search, right? You can ask it that specific detailed question that you always want to ask rather than just reading a listicle article off of Google. It's complex and it's non-routine task, right? So before you build an automated chatbot, right, where you give predetermined options, now you can build AI chatbots that have those predetermined options, but it has more of a fluid conversation. And you can then webhook different automations based off of those responses, right? It's not as readily available right now. I mean, it is, but to personally do it, it's tough. You need probably professional help to create those AI chatbots rather than automated chatbots. And then it's going to increase decision making, right? So I think AI is going not to replace creativity, but it's going to start the creative process, and then it's going to essentially kickstart your mind. You're going to see options. You're going to say, oh, okay, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Boom. Similar to how you would when you do SWOT analysis, when you're creating a marketing campaign. You look at competitors to get ideas, right? Same thing. AI, you can use it to get ideas and then go off of that. Now, the things that I would use AI for currently and things that I do use AI for currently is copy. Now, with copy, I do not recommend copying word for word copy. I think that the SEO, it will go down, and you should just use it as ideas, okay? Same thing with your content ideas, right? You want to come up with videos. You want to come up with hooks. Use these again as ideas, and you can train and prompt different AIs to give you even better results, which I'll kind of show you in a little bit. You can use it for a lead magnet. So, imagine you have a lead magnet where you're like, yeah, download this PDF with 14 different ways to do this for your business. Well, now what if it's 14 different ways specifically for your business? So now you're filling out a form and it runs it through AI. So it tailors all of that information to that person's business through AI. Then you can have your customer support. So again, have that kind of AI chatbot that then triggers different webhooks. You can automate or do AI with your email outreach. I'm going to show you guys a really cool tool that I love to use for email outreach. Lead scraping. So this is great where you can scrape Google, LinkedIn with different AI scraping tools. Marketing planning, right? So you can actually use different AIs to come up with ideas for Facebook, Instagram, content. You can start to intertwine different AIs to create entire marketing plans. Internal procedures. You can provide information to an AI about all of your company's internal ops, And then you bring on a new employee and they can just message back and forth if they have a question rather than messaging a manager and asking a normal question that could take 2 seconds to explain, but the manager may not have time right now. So that employee is left in la la land because they can't answer it, but now they can just message back and forth with this chatbot. And then finance modeling. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of people have seen some of these Excel spreadsheet AIs that are coming out where you can just say, make this happen. And it just creates the formula, it does it. It's wild. It's blowing my mind nowadays. And there's a ton more AI tools out there. These are just kind of my personal favorite ones that I like. Now, let me show you my specific favorite AI tools. The first is obviously the king of themselves, ChatGPT. I like to use ChatGPT, again, just for ideas. It's a really just good way to get things kickstarted. The next one is the OpenAI Playground. This one is my personal favorite. This is how you build your own AIs within your companies, okay? This is how you provide the AI information in your company at a basic level, okay? If you want to go more advanced, you have to do some coding, but this is what I'm going to show you guys in a little bit and how you can integrate it into a form, create your own lead magnet, all of that different stuff, okay? It's very, very simple to use. Once you get a few of the things worked out, it's my favorite tool by far. Then you have Midjourney. Midjourney is an amazing tool where you can actually go in and type it. You can type in anything you can imagine and it'll spit out an image for you in any type of resolution you want. And so it's incredible the type of things that this thing can do. Then you have Instantly.ai. So this was the email one that I was talking about, where is an email AI tool. This will actually create emails for you, change up the messaging so it also helps with your spam filter rates, but then also tailor the messages a little bit to each type of person that you upload the information to. So really good tool. I know marketing agencies that literally use this and just build out like 10 emails on it and just do lead gen for clients. And this is literally all they do. Then you have Synthesia.io. This is a great way to create explainer videos using an AI person, right? Where it actually changes the mouth based on the words and the audio that you give it. So you can, provide it text, it'll create the audio for you. You can give it your own audio, anything different, like anything you want from there. And it gives you a bunch of different avatars to look through. Futurepedia.io. This is a great directory to find AI tools. It's a really good way to sift through different types. You can see, okay, audio editing, art, 3D copywriting, all right there. So there's a ton of different categories, and you can kind of see all the main and hot AI tools there. So now that you guys understand the difference between automation and AI, we'll build an automated AI together, okay? So the one AI that I want to build today is the irresistible offer, right? The irresistible offer, what this is an offer that you use in sales where you can use it for a landing page, website text, you can use it in a video, you can use it during a sales presentation, you can use it to leverage different terminology or phrases within the offer, right? It's just a good, I like to think of it as like the mission statement of your sales pitch in a sense, right? This is like the core of your sales pitch, the benefits, the pain points you attract, and like why to work with you, okay? So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to go to the OpenAI Playground, which I'll do in a second. But I want to discuss the prompt and how we provided all of the information first. So we want to say, act as a sales and marketing expert. Your primary objective is to help craft an irresistible offer. I'll provide you with the structure of how I want you to create the irresistible offer. Let's begin. So the AI understands what an irresistible offer is, right? But I personally like a specific structure when crafting my irresistible offer, right? So I don't want the AI to just go off and spit out something because it's not based off what I like to do for my clients, right? So for example, when you think of how would I build an AI for myself, understand the knowledge that you know and figure out how you can give the AI that specific knowledge, because that's what's going to make you separate from someone else's AI in a sense. Now, the structure is I like to do the big outcome first, pain points, benefits, and then call to action, right? So the big outcome is like, what is the main thing that someone's going to feel when they start working with you, and the thing that they're going to like express, right? Then the pain points, right? What are the pain points they're currently having? Benefits, why should someone work with you? Do you have a bunch of experience? Do you do this? Do you work with 100 customers? What is that, right? And then finally, what's your call to action, right? You need a call to action because they need to know the next step in the funnel. So then what I want to do is actually give it examples. I'm going to provide it 3 different examples. I'm going to show, okay, here's the big outcome. Here are the pain points, the benefits, and the call to action in all 3 different examples that I provide. And then finally, I want to say, here's the form, create this, don't do this, give it some kind of criteria, right? And I'm going to have fill it out with big outcome, pain point, benefits, and call to action. So, Joe, are you still there?
Yes, I am, James.
Awesome. Well, so I would love if you could give me some big outcomes and pain points, benefits, and call to actions for business.
So let's start with a big outcome. Let's go with one that I use in my own coaching business, which is we will triple your sales results in 6 months or less.
Great. What are the pain points someone's experiencing right now?
Inconsistent sales, inconsistent revenue, little to no growth.
Sales. To no growth. Cool. Benefits of working with you?
Sure. Increased sales results.
Okay.
Increased revenue.
So I guess, why you? Sure, anyone can increase sales results as a sales coach, but why you?
Sure. 34 plus years of experience.
Okay.
Thousands of satisfied customers. Hundreds of millions of dollars of sales production.
Cool. Call to action, just maybe like book a call.
Yep.
All right. So what we're going to do, so this is the OpenAI playground too, is we're going to come down here. We're going to click submit. And then we're going to get our AIs. Experience explosive growth in your business within 6 months or less. Stop struggling with inconsistent sales and revenue and little to no growth. With over 34 years of experience and thousands of satisfied customers, you can trust us to help you triple your sales results. Book a call today to get started. Transform your business in just 6 months or less. No more dealing with the frustrations of an inconsistent income stream. Our team has decades of experience, and we have generated millions in sales production for our clients. Take the first steps towards success and book a free consultation now. Harness the power of exponential growth within 6 months or less. Forget about trial and error methods. That takes too long to see results. Leverage our expertise. We've helped hundreds reach their goals with amazing success stories. Get personalized advice when you sign up for our newsletter today. So right here, you would change it to free consultation. But I mean, overall, these are pretty good irresistible offers there for you.
Yep. 3 very good ones.
Yeah. So now you can take those and build them into an automation. You can build them into Zapier, right, into a form, anything like that. And it's just a great way to add some little extra value to people or to your customers and prospects through the use of AI and automation.
Excellent. Yeah. Excellent. Now, do we have time for a question or two, James?
Yeah, that was it. Yep, I'm all done.
Awesome. Because I had somebody send me a question here, and I think it's really, really important. When you're talking about automations and you're talking about AI specifically, what similar things do they both give back to the user?
They both give back to the user time.
Hmm.
You will save time no matter what with these two things, but when you combine the two, it's exponential saving time.
Okay. So it's kind of like, taking a recipe and then finding an even better version of that recipe, getting a better result, and doing it all much more efficiently.
Exactly.
Okay, great. Now there was another question that came in, and let me just make sure I cover this the right way. So, um, one of the challenges or concerns that this person messaged me is worry or concern over their personal voice, their voice being lost if they turn things over to an AI to do a lot of different things. And what do you have to share with people as it relates to that? Because I know you've done a lot of this and you've worked with people that perhaps have felt this. What do you say to somebody when they're concerned about their individual voice being lost to an AI?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing is like you can just give your voice to the AI in a sense, right?
Hmm.
You write and have lots of examples of your voice.
Hmm.
Give the AI that example, and then it will create that exact same voice for you.
Yep. Yep. Somebody sent me a message too that some days I feel like doing what I'm doing, other days I don't feel like doing what I'm doing, but an AI works whenever I want it to work.
Literally, and so because if you think about it like this too, even using the AI, you still have to use it, right? So let's say
Yep.
you want to create a marketing plan. Okay, and I'm leveraging, I'm training myself to use Chat GPT. I have to go in, type out all the stuff, right, over and over again, build out my whole marketing plan. But if you build it with automation, now all I have
Hmm.
to do is fill out one form with probably 6 or 7 different fields, and then it just automates all of those AI inputs and outputs right then
Mm.
and there. So you're saving a lot of time with AI, but you could actually 10x the amount of time you save even more with automation and AI.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now I know you briefly touched on, the consolidation aspects as well as, integrating a lot of these things onto a platform where it works much easier to get you back more time. And I know that's a large part of the work that we do at Marketing Mate. Tell us a little bit about how, number one, how people can reach you to talk about automation as well as AI. And,
Yeah.
how can they get time with you? Because I know particularly people love going to people that know this inside and out. So how can they connect with you?
Yeah, just meet.marketingmate.com, right down below. That's my calendar to meet with me. Always willing to help out, give advice wherever I can in terms of, where you can automate different things.
Awesome. Now, before we wrap up, I know as somebody who is a Marketing Mate user, as well as somebody who is starting to get comfortable and learn more about AI, I had a lot of hesitancy, and I think if there's one thing that I think would be really important for us to share with people before we wrap up is, what do you say to people that are concerned about the technology being too much for them to comprehend or understand or get their arms around?
It's really not. It's not hard anymore. It's like the AI that we just built is it's really not difficult. Once you it takes a 10-15 minute YouTube video really to just look into even Zapier. Zapier is so easy and you can automate so many things with just Zapier. And if you just spend a few moments, right, it's uncomfortable, right? That's where a lot of people I feel like
Yeah.
stray away from because it's the unknown and you know you remember technology being a pain in the ass, right? But it's right now it works really good. So it takes a few minutes. You just got to go in, sit down, look at it, and you're like, oh, okay, this actually isn't too bad.
Okay. Yeah, and I know that was something that I needed to hear and accept for myself, and that's why I wanted to make sure that I asked that question. Well, James, this has been phenomenal, and obviously this was a high level overview of things, but you covered so many different things, and I want to encourage anybody that missed this live to go back and watch the recording of this. It'll be posted wherever this was streamed live. watch the recording of this. And if you at all are interested in automation for your business, getting back time, AI for your business, getting back more time, and more importantly, combining the two to get maximum results and get even more time back, you need to connect with James from Marketing Mate. You can get onto his calendar by going to meet.marketingmate.com. This is Joe Beck with Marketing Mate, along with James Shockley, the founder of Marketing Mate. Thank you so much for your time today, James, and
Yeah,
we'll
thanks, Joe.
see you soon.
Bye, everybody.